Starting March 5th, Aquarius, you're going to feel the shift before you can explain it. It won't show up as a big event at first. It'll show up as a pressure in your chest when you try to keep things normal. It'll show up as a strange impatience with conversations that go nowhere. It'll show up as your mind running in circles, like it's searching for a clean answer in a world that refuses to be clean right now. And if you've been telling yourself, I'll decide when I have more clarity, I need you to hear this gently but clearly. March is not built to give you perfect clarity first. March is built to reveal what's true after you stop pretending you don't already know. In fact, there's one moment in this month, late March, where you'll look back and realize, that's when my life turned. But you won't get that moment if you keep waiting for proof. And I'll tell you exactly what that turning point is, but not yet. First, you need to understand why everything feels foggy for you right now, especially starting March 5th. Aquarius, you're usually the one who can think your way through anything. You can zoom out. You can see patterns. You can detach from the emotional noise and stay smart when everyone else is panicking. That's one of your superpowers. But this month, that superpower can become a trap. Because March is the kind of month that quietly compromises logic, not to punish you, but to force you to grow beyond your usual coping strategy. The old method of gather more information, then decide, won't work the way it normally does. Messages get confusing. Timing gets slippery. People sound inconsistent. Your own thoughts feel fast but strangely unproductive, like you're burning mental energy without landing on a final answer. And that's the point. This is the month where the universe removes your ability to fake certainty, so you can finally choose from truth. Starting March 5th, your first job is not to rush. Not because you're weak, not because you're behind, because early March is a test of impulse. You'll feel the urge to lock something in just to stop the mental spinning. You'll want to make the call, send the text, sign the thing, announce the decision, move on. But here's what's dangerous. You may be tempted to choose the option that looks safest on paper, even if your body is telling you it's wrong. And yes, I said your body. Because Aquarius, your mind can rationalize anything. Your mind can build a beautiful argument for staying in something that drains you, just because it's familiar or efficient or makes sense to other people. But your body doesn't negotiate. Your body tells the truth in 1 second. So in the first part of March, pay attention to your physical signals. Pay attention to what tightens you, what makes you restless, what makes you feel heavy. Pay attention to what relaxes you, what opens your breath, what makes you feel quietly relieved. That's going to matter because one of the biggest themes for Aquarius this month is this. You will be forced to stop living like a concept. You will have to live like a person with limits, a person with needs, a person who can't keep offering their energy to things that don't honor them back. And if you feel resistance to that, if you hear that and immediately think, I don't need anyone, I understand. But I also need you to be honest. Independence can be strength, but it can also be armor. And March is going to test your armor. Around March 6th, you'll notice your voice changes. Your edge comes back. The part of you that's tired of being misunderstood gets louder. The part of you that's tired of playing polite when you're not okay starts craving directness. You might feel bolder. You might feel more willing to say the real thing. You might feel less patient with vague people, unclear plans, half commitments, and emotional games. This is powerful, but here's where it can go wrong. Aquarius can mistake truth for sharpness. You can cut someone and call it honesty. You can say something brutal, then tell yourself you were just being real. So here's your rule. Be clear, not cruel. Say what you mean, but don't say it like you're trying to win. Because the early part of March is filled with misunderstandings, and if you speak from irritation, it will echo. If you speak from truth, it will settle. And this is where relationships come into focus. If you've been dealing with a situation that's been almost for too long, you're going to feel it. If you've been carrying a friendship that only works when you do all the emotional labor, you're going to feel it. If someone wants access to your presence but keeps avoiding responsibility, you're going to feel it. And Aquarius, you're going to be tempted to do what you always do. Detach, disappear, say nothing, act like you don't care. But March doesn't let you stay neutral. March makes you choose how you want to be treated. Then around March 10th or 11th, something subtle but significant opens up for you. The pressure doesn't vanish, but support appears. It's like the universe places a hand on your back and says, okay, now we move. And I want you to understand what kind of support this is. It's not always a big lucky break. It's not always a dramatic sign. For Aquarius, this help often shows up as practical relief, a routine that finally works, a work situation that starts flowing again, a habit that actually sticks, a new system that gives you more time, more energy, more stability. This part of March can feel surprisingly calming, if you let it. Because the blessing for Aquarius this month is not just about what happens to you. It's about what you build. And here's a truth most people don't want to hear. Your next chapter will not be built by motivation alone. It will be built by structure. Aquarius, you don't need to become a rigid person. You just need a life that can hold you. You need patterns that protect your nervous system. You need boundaries that keep your energy from leaking out of 1,000 tiny holes. And if you get this right early in mid-March, you'll notice something important. Your mind starts to quiet down. Not because you found all the answers, but because you finally stopped living in chaos. Then we move into the middle of the month, around March 18th and 19th, and this is where things turn inward in a deeper way. This is the part that most Aquarians try to skip. This is the part you try to outthink. Don't. Because this is where your self-worth resets. Not in an inspirational quote way. In a what am I tolerating that I shouldn't be tolerating anymore way. You may start seeing clearly where you've been undercharging, underasking, underreceiving, or overgiving. You may notice you've been saying yes because you don't want to disappoint people. Or you've been staying quiet because it's easier than explaining yourself again. Or you've been accepting a situation because you told yourself, this is fine for now. And now you realize you've been living in for now for way too long. And this is where the truth gets uncomfortable. Because the real question is not, what do I want? The real question is, what do I actually believe I deserve? If you believe you deserve to be chosen, you stop entertaining half-chosen situations. If you believe you deserve respect, you stop laughing off disrespect. If you believe your time matters, you stop giving it away to people who treat it like it doesn't. And Aquarius, your life changes the moment you stop negotiating your worth. You don't have to start a fight. You don't have to make it dramatic. You don't have to write a long explanation. You just have to decide. Because once you decide, the universe can move with you. But if you keep living in indecision, the universe will move without you. Now, around March 20th, the mental fog starts to lift. You'll feel it like the lights coming back on. Your words land better. Your thoughts feel sharper. Conversations begin to make more sense. You stop rereading messages like you're decoding a puzzle. You stop second-guessing every little thing you said. And when that clarity returns, here's the surprising part. You won't feel shocked by the answer. You'll feel annoyed. Because the answer will feel like it was obvious. It was. You just weren't ready to deal with what happens after you choose it. Aquarius, your decisions have consequences. You can see that. You can predict the ripple effect. You know that choosing one path means losing another. You know that telling the truth changes the relationship. You know that setting a boundary makes some people uncomfortable. So you delay. You analyze. You wait. But late March teaches you something you need to remember for the rest of your life. There is no decision that changes nothing. So stop trying to find a choice that keeps everyone comfortable. Choose the one that keeps you aligned. And now we approach the part one told you I'd come back to, the turning point near the end of the month, around March 28th. This is where Aquarius becomes unstoppable if you're willing to be disciplined. This is where you take the truth you found mid-month and turn it into a real-life structure. This might be a plan you commit to without needing anyone's approval. This might be a boundary you finally enforce without over-explaining. This might be stepping out of an old role you've outgrown, even if it scares you. This might be choosing a path that looks unconventional, but feels like freedom. And I want you to understand what makes this so powerful. It doesn't have to be loud to be life-changing. In fact, the most powerful Aquarius moves are quiet. They're clean. They're final. And once you make that move, you'll notice something almost immediately. Your energy returns. Your focus returns. Your confidence returns. Not because life became easy, but because you're no longer split in half. You're no longer living one truth inside while performing another truth outside. You become one person again. Then as March closes, around March 30th, the energy softens. It stabilizes. You start craving comfort, simplicity, quality. You care less about drama and more about peace. You may want to make your space feel safer. You may want fewer conversations, but deeper ones. You may want less noise, less chaos, less proving. And Aquarius, that isn't you settling. That's you maturing. That's you choosing a life that doesn't constantly keep you on edge. So let me give you the simplest truth of this entire month, starting March 5th. Your mind will not get everything it wants. You will not have perfect information. You will not get a timeline that stays fixed. You will not get everyone to understand you immediately, but you will get something better. You will get alignment. If you stop trying to force certainty through logic alone, and you start listening to what your intuition has been repeating for weeks, maybe months. So when you're choosing this month, do this. Gather what you can. Verify what's real. Don't rush the permanent decisions while the air is still foggy. Then ask your body one honest question. Which option feels like expansion, even if it scares me? And then take one step. Just one. Because once you do, life starts responding faster than you think. And if you're tempted to do nothing, to stay neutral, to wait, to postpone, remember this. If you don't choose, life will choose for you. The window will close. The opportunity will move. The person will decide. And you'll be left wishing you trusted yourself when the truth was already in your chest. March is not here to punish you, Aquarius. It's here to upgrade you, to rebuild your routines, to sharpen your boundaries, to restore your self-worth, to turn your intuition into action. And if you commit to that, you'll end this month feeling something you haven't felt in a while. Not just hope, power. If you made it to the end, thank you for being here. If this resonated, hit like, share it with another Aquarius who needs it, and subscribe for more monthly readings. And if you want, comment one word below, reset. I'll see you in the next video.